You scroll, you click, and instantly menus glide open, videos play, and pages shift around you. Every day, we interact with websites that feel completely seamless. But if you've ever wondered how all these moving parts actually fit together behind the screen, the truth is, it's a constructed system. Strip away the glossy design and the vibrant colors, and we're left with this: a plain vertical stack of wireframe boxes and text. Take away the underlying logic, and even that structure stops working. Click these raw boxes all you want. Nothing reacts, updates, or moves. The internet we use every day is actually a stack of exactly 3 digital building blocks working together: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Every website you visit, no matter how complex it looks, relies on these same 3 blocks being stacked in a specific way. To see how they interact, think of a web page like the human anatomy. HTML is the skeleton giving us our basic shape. CSS is the skin and the clothes, providing our appearance. And JavaScript is the muscle, giving us the ability to move and react. Once you see websites through this 3-part lens, you can look at literally any page on the internet and understand exactly how it was built. Let's look at that first crucial building block, HTML. This diagram shows how it works. HTML provides the raw framework for everything on the page. When you want a wide rectangle for a header, stacked lines for text, or a small square for a button, you use HTML to define that structure. You need these structural beams in place before you can do anything else. Without HTML, there is nowhere to put a color, nowhere to place an image, and nothing for a user to click. It is a mandatory foundation. But as you can see, on its own, it is rigid, completely static, and pretty ugly. That brings us to our second block, CSS. This layer handles the interior design of that bare-bones structure. CSS dictates all visual appearance. It tells the browser what colors to paint the boxes, what fonts to use for the text, how much space to leave between elements, and how to rearrange everything so it looks good on both a large desktop monitor and a tiny smartphone screen. Watch what happens when we apply CSS to that rigid skeleton. The sharp corners smooth out, the stark lines transform into vibrant shapes, and that vertical stack naturally slides into an elegant side-by-side layout. If we didn't have CSS, every modern web application you use today would look exactly like a plain black and white text document from the 1990s. So now we have a beautiful interface. The problem is, it's still completely frozen. If you click that styled button right now, absolutely nothing will happen. To bring this beautifully styled structure to life, we need our third layer, JavaScript. This is the digital muscle. JavaScript listens and responds. When you press a button, a sleek menu instantly unfolds, or a notification badge pops up. That's JavaScript firing. Notice how this chart pulls in new data and adjusts its bars continuously, handling live updates perfectly without refreshing your browser. It is the engine that turns a static layout into a tool that actually listens and responds to you. HTML builds the structure. CSS designs it. JavaScript gives it function. If you're wondering where to begin your own coding journey, the answer is to follow that exact order. Start with HTML by creating the simplest text pages you can. Once you have a handle on that, learn CSS and test your skills by trying to recreate the exact look of familiar homepages, like Google or Netflix. Only after you can confidently build and style those layouts should you introduce JavaScript. Use it to build small, functional tools, like a working calculator, a to-do list, or a digital clock. Following this specific timeline prevents you from getting overwhelmed. Each new skill you learn will be securely anchored to a solid understanding of the layer beneath it. As you start learning, avoid the common trap of spending months passively watching tutorials without ever opening a code editor yourself. True learning happens when you type the code, make mistakes, and fix them. So after every single new concept you watch, immediately try to build something small with it. There are incredible free educators out there who can guide you through this process. Channels like Code with Harry, Super Simple Dev, Bro Code, Opna College, Free Code Camp, and Traversy Media offer patient, beginner-friendly paths. Resist the urge to skip ahead to more complex tools that manage large-scale systems or rely heavily on AI to write the code for you. Those are much easier to understand once you know the core logic. When you have a deep understanding of these 3 pillars, you'll have the mental map you need to navigate any advanced technology that comes next.